Pour across. I trickle over rocks and stones to make my song. I trickle over rocks.
Who's on the telly?
Oh, you're on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go.
Yeah. Hi. Gosh, everybody's up and bright and early this morning.
Bright and early is not so much.
How's that little baby doing? He looks brilliant.
He's quite good, aren't you?
Oh,
Oh, well done, little boy. Hello, Ralphie. Hello. Hello, Sid. Sid. I can't whistle. Was Sid like that when she was a baby?
Not as big, nowhere near as big.
He's a big lad, isn't he?
He is a big lad. Thank you.
I've got somebody's rapt attention here because I'm chopping up her treats.
How's she doing?
I'm chopping up the treats.
How is she doing?
How's she doing? Sorry, I haven't got my hearing aid in. She's actually doing really, really well.
Sitting.
We were just saying if we'd have left it how she is now, I probably wouldn't have taken her to the vets.
Right. So what happens tomorrow?
X-ray tomorrow.
And is that to decide the course of action, or is it a definite op?
Well, I think it's to decide which sort of op from what I've read on the internet, because there's 3 options with this.
Right.
Julie's nodding. I'm getting it right so far. So it depends which is the best option for this young lady.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, a bit of a blow, to say the least.
Do you know what she did?
It's genetic. I know what she. Yeah, but it's genetic. This is what Liam, whatever his name is, didn't get the name.
Good looking one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's genetic.
Oh.
So it was going to happen, whatever.
So.
But none of her brothers or sisters have got the problem.
Right. Is it in both knees or just one?
Both.
Oh, crap.
The left one is grade 2 and the right one is grade 3. And grade 3 is the one that they've got to operate on.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And will it stay at grade 2 then, or can it deteriorate?
It can deteriorate. That's why it'll be a case of, oh, I dropped one, didn't I, Tilly? Yes. We'll just have to reassess what we can do with her.
Right.
To maintain the integrity of that knee.
Yeah. So is agility out and things like that then? I
can't see that it's going to be a very good thing for her to be doing, because
No.
she is really, really fast.
Yeah.
And really good.
Turning, I bet. Is it the turning?
It's the turning that does it.
Yeah.
If she's walking in a straight line, you would never think there was a problem.
Right.
Turning. So I'm gutted.
Of course. Oh my God, of course.
I mean, not just for the fact it's an operation, but I really wanted to take the agility further. So never mind.
It's one
of those things, isn't it? You know, life takes a turn and you have to just go with it and find.
Yeah, I know. But you're allowed an adjustment period, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah. I just sobbed my socks off. I was really grown up about it.
Well, why wouldn't you?
I think because she's such a baby still.
Yeah.
You know, she hasn't had. I mean, we were so careful with her when she was little, and she didn't even have a proper walk until she was nearly a year old.
Yeah.
You know, as in a really long.
Yeah,
walk.
we were the same with Sid.
And it's just heartbreaking, really.
I know.
Active, but she's done really well, bless her. She's so she's so good. You know, she seems to understand. That's the bizarre thing. I mean, occasionally she'll go racing off and then go, oh, bugger. But we don't get the yelping now. She just picks her leg up, comes over, will you rub it, mum? Yeah, rub it. And off she goes again. She's very good. Yeah.
So what does the operation do?
It makes sure the kneecap stays where it's supposed to.
Right.
You've got a bowl where your kneecap is.
Yeah, yeah.
And at the moment, it's slipping out.
Okay.
So it could be either that as she's grown, the ligament has moved over because the muscle isn't keeping it in place.
Right.
Or it could be that they scrape the knee joint out so it sits in better, or they put wedges in. Is that right, Julie? I think that's what I've read anyway.
They basically take the part of the wedges. I don't normally do this with my hand. If you imagine there's a cup and the patella is meant to slide in that cup, and it's meant edges that stop it from knocking out. But if your cup isn't very deep, then what happens is the patella slips over to one side, and then you can't function your knee.
No.
I can't do it so the camera's right, but basically knee joints like that, it cuts the other way around. Once it slips over the edge, you can't bend your knee. It's in the way. The ligaments are all, and then it can slip back in, which is what's happening for her. And then the knee carries on working perfectly well.
Yeah.
But if that cup is not kind of a V shape, a normal V shape, then what they do is they cut part of they try and save the surface. You'll have seen the pictures on the internet, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But they take a really fine, can't find a bit of surface. God. That was meant to sit like that. Oh, can you see?
Oh yeah, yep.
And if that V shape's not right, what they do is they cut this surface out, basically take another piece below it. Like that.
Yeah.
And then they drop that good bit back in, but it sits lower. And by sitting lower, it's deepening that groove so that you've got the edges then to keep the patella from going over sideways. But yeah, you're right. If she shouldn't have the other problem. The dogs that usually need to have the tibial transplant to move the ligament over, they're usually they have their legs are more bent, so they're the dogs that tend to walk with their knee sort of at that angle. She's got straight leg.
Yeah.
You look at her.
Yeah.
Spaniels and things that tend to be like that, their ligament is going at a weird angle, so they'll tend to be moving over. Whereas I think my guess for her would be that just the deepening should do the job.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping. Yeah.
Well, let us know.
Yes, I will. But we were looking to get some knee supports for her, Julie. Ow! I was right in there. So it's my fault. I'm holding that while she's chewing it. It looks really rude, doesn't it? It's a stag's foot antler.
Stag's what? Where's everybody else?
Oh, there they are. Hello.
In distress. And I've just let everyone else in.
Oh. Yeah, I say we're looking at getting knee supports.
Yeah. I haven't had much to do with them. I do have contact with a veterinary physiotherapist who I'm sure would be happy to speak to you and recommend or guide your decisions on those sorts of things.
Yeah. Anyway, doggy time.
Just going to mute you all for a second. So yeah, my friend, I can give you her contact details, and she'd probably be one of the best people to contact with regards to using those sorts of equipment.
Thank you.
I wouldn't want to, because I've not had experience with them.
No.
Experience is a good one. It's just that dogs are not all the same shape, whereas we are. So a knee support that's designed for one human being is liable to fit another human being,
Yeah.
but not so much for dogs.
Oh, you're going in and out, Julie.
Again, because I'm using that blooming camera for my mic, because I've swapped them, it all goes wrong, doesn't it?
It's been one of those weeks, certainly. Little Ralph is beautiful.
Okay, let's just unmute you, and then I'll
Yeah.
go.
He's not that little.
He's a chunky monkey.
He is very chunky. Yes, he is. He's the biggest one we've ever had. He's just had a bath this morning because he stank. And then Sid's just come into season yesterday, so it's all fun here.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, he was a bit interested at her back. Well, he was sniffing at her back end. I thought there'd been signs. She was licking, and she's gone quiet, and she started humping my leg again. So I just had a look yesterday, and she wasn't bleeding the day before, but she has started yesterday. So I'm taking it that's day one. Well, I'll count it as day one. Just after, so we were walking at 7 o'clock this morning just to get her out of the house before any of the dogs were about.
Yeah. Oh, bless. At least he's too little to do
Yeah.
anything about it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a ferret. Oh, wow.
Oh, where am I looking?
Maria. Maria's got a ferret.
It's a Percival.
Ah,
Oh, wow.
I think. Here you go.
Is it new or?
Oh no. We had 8 at one point. We just lost one just after Christmas. We lost his dad just after Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah, he's 5 now, I think. We've got 3 girls and 2 boys now.
Wow. Madhouse.
Comes in training. Come on,
Are you wanting training?
Oh, dear.
I need to figure out how to turn the mic off. Sure. Yeah, I don't know how to stop that blooming thing from happening. So, yeah. Yeah, look.
I'm back.
Is that safe now? Stop making that horrible noise. I don't say anything in case it kicks off again. It's because the two mics are competing with each other, and if I switch the wrong one off by accident. Oh. So, yeah, what I was actually trying to say was, do you want some help training your ferret? Let me see if I can get that. Had a really nice view of the floor at where it was, but obviously it's not.
They're pretty well behaved.
They're fun animals.
Yeah,
Crazy
they are.
beasties. You
But
have all sorts of tunnels and things.
Yeah, they've got a big pen outside. They've got a huge play area, so we've got hammocks and tubes and all sorts of things out there.
Anyway, so I said to Dawn yesterday when I was talking about class today, I said, do you think I should bother making a plan at all for doing anything to teach them? Because I would imagine that it was just going to be a whole pile of puppy conversation and poorly led conversation, and trying to guide you into any kind of class might be a bit difficult, because I knew that you'd want to do this. And you can see my arm here, look. I'll move over there. But so, shall we have a go at doing some learning, some teaching, some playing with our dogs in a kind of a training version? I've decided, because all the outdoor classes and people that I was meant to be meeting today have decided that it's too horrible weather-wise, and I have to agree with them, to be frank. So I've got the day off, essentially. Once I've spoken to you, other than sitting at the computer, I'm not doing anything. Hence, I've decided that I wasn't going to get out of my pajama bottoms. I did brush my hair, honest, but you know, you'd have to believe me on that one. So you'll have to put up with me PJs. I do have pants on, so I'm not absolutely disgusting. There is knickers underneath there. Get rid of that thing. Make myself some space. So Dodo's off doing his job again. She's gone and nicked him so that she can do assessments for daycares. So I've just got two older people on tap, yeah. And that kind of makes it awkward for me sometimes, because obviously Twiggy's she's a kind of a geek, isn't she? She just thinks she knows everything about everything and shows off and doesn't show the bits that are rubbish. And maybe really wants to work, but I'm a bit concerned about making her move on this floor. So we'll do a little bit with each and see how we get on. Maybe it's more likely to make it not look perfect. So she's a good example dog, so that you can see what happens. Yeah. All right. So treats. That's what I was doing. Here's my treat. We're going to have a look at an idea that was from Kay Lawrence, that if your dog's expecting food to be on you and you kind of got yourself into that habit of always using lure and going back to lure, then you end up with a dog who, will you stand still so your claws aren't so loud? You end up with a dog who is expecting to only walk nicely with you on the lead when the food is visible or sniffable. Yeah. So her idea, and the idea she came up with, was a principle that she calls going shopping. loony. She's going to start trying to play with me now. Going shopping. So we put the treats in spots around wherever you're training, on little surfaces wherever you're training. And the aim is that after you mark the correct response, you're going to travel together to the shop to get a reward. And that reward is going to be a selection of different various food types or toy types so that you can reinforce that behavior. What's important is when you mark, all right? So all we're going to do is we're going to request a behavior that your dog already sort of knows pretty well. So if I ask maybe to come in here, and I can say yes, but I'm going to travel over to the treat pot with her to get the reward. Let's see if I can put the treat pot where you can see it. All right, so that stays over there. And I'm going to, yes! And I'm going to go to there to get the reward. Okay? Yes! So even if you're moving away from your treats, and that's the point, is that you're not stuck with the treats in your hand or on your person, on your body. They're somewhere else. And as soon as you've marked, you're going to start traveling towards. Now, what I want you to think about here is if you rush towards your treats, you might be accidentally building excitement there where you don't want it. So don't rush to get to the treats, but you can use what they call a bridge. So you've done your marker word, you've said, yes, that's the correct behavior. And then you can wander over to wherever you've left your treats saying, let's go shopping. Let's go over there and get you a reward. Yeah. So that is the bridge between your marker and your reward. Just telling the dog, you are getting that reward. We're just going to go over here to get that reward. Okay. Does that make sense? So that's all I want you to do. Whatever you've got that you're using for your reward, put them up out of the way. Don't leave them where your dog, like I have, where your dog could, in theory, just go and help themselves. So they need to be so that they can't get into it. And you need to make it really obvious. To begin with, don't have too long of a bridge, you know, mark fairly close to, but then start traveling them away from. So you have to come back to go and get your reinforcer. Does that make sense? Any questions on that? Are you happy to start? So it could be that you just ask for a touch, or you could, it doesn't matter to me what behavior you're asking for right now. The point is to get the treats separated from your physical body, but still functioning as a reinforcer. That's the bit we're practicing. All right? And which means Tilly can join in as long as you can think of a behaviour she can do that's not going to have a slipping and sliding. All right, darlings. So for those dogs who've been very used to getting the reward instantly, this can mix them up a little bit to begin with, but I think it looks like you're doing okay. Look at that. And they almost work harder because they're not sure whether or not there's going to be a reinforcer. It also makes your marker word much stronger because they start to associate it with that traveling to the shops. So the reason I think she came up with this idea was because she'd noticed that when you took a child into town, a human child into town, they'd start asking about whether or not we were going to McDonald's. And quite often a clever child owner, parent, would say, yes, if you're good, we'll go to McDonald's. And a clever child owner would make sure that they told the child that that behavior had earned them the right to go to McDonald's, and then they would start talking about the fact that they were going to McDonald's. So they would put the bridge in place. Okay. Look at Maria working. That's working well for Maria. Is everybody else feeling that? Can you see how getting the food out of your hand is actually making the dogs work harder? Although Sydney says, I'm a little bit mixed up about it. Why is there not food coming immediately? So for some dogs who've been, yeah, go on unmute.
No, she was getting it. She's not feeling learning today, but she was doing it. She's just now found a glove that is far more interesting than anything else. So she's not listening.
Do you know what? Yeah, if your dog finds something in the environment that's more reinforcing than whatever it is that you've got, get that object from them in a nice way, swap them, drop it, leave it, whatever. Put that in your shop. Put it in your shop, you know, and then you can go shopping for that glove. Oh, maybe. Okay, so all you would do then is you extend the amount of behavior required before you give your marker. So you're either going to ask for that behavior to be more polished in shape. So you'd be more specific about how you want it to look, or you're going to increase the length of time that you want that behavior to continue for before you're going to say your marker word. Okay, so you choose your next step. So whatever behavior you've chosen, we're going to get you all to do an individual demo in a minute so we can see it. So I'm going to put you on the spot. But whatever behavior you've chosen, I want you to decide, is there a next step for that? So with maybe, for example, I could say, she needs to walk with me all the way down here. Yes! And then I can go shopping with her. Yeah? So I'm not asking her to continue that behavior beyond the yes. My behavior changes to, we're going shopping. So my behavior becomes jollier, or my voice becomes jollier. Yay, we've done it. We're off to the shops. So a little celebration. You are not helping with your big kisses while I'm trying to work. All right, so get whatever it is, because you're going to do as a little demo. I'm going to put you on the spot one at a time. Whatever you've decided to do, see if you can make it look a bit polished. And remember, you're not allowed to have any food on your body or on your hands. that reward is going to be coming from elsewhere. All right. Don't mind what behavior you do because it'd be fun to see a variety. Have a practice, keep practicing, and then you've got 2 minutes, and then I'm going to put you on the spot. Twiggy. Come here. Twiggy, come here. Come here. Ready? Okay, there. You don't want the bed. Is that bothering you having that there, is it? Is it? It is. Come here then. Yes. Yes. 2 many claws. Too many big dogs in my room. Hey, hey, cheeky, I see you. I saw you, don't knock my camera off. Good girl. Right then, let's pick on somebody. I know Sid's not really feeling it, Andrea, but you're top of my screen, so you do go first. I'm going to mute myself. Going to get you to unmute yourself. We're going to put you on big view.
Oh, heck. Right. You ready? Yes. Come on then, let's go shopping. Let's go shopping. What's this? Oh, what's that? What's that? Oh, yes, 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 yes. Right, eat it. Good girl. Touch. Yes. Let's go shopping. Oh.
No.
Oh. Leave it. Good girl.
Oh.
Let's go shopping. I mean, let's go. Go. Touch. Yes. Oh, good girl. Uh-oh.
Getting grumpy with me.
Touch. Yes. Come on then. Yes.
Wait.
We're not there yet. There's too many distractions.
It's good though, isn't it? Because you can see that you have got the treat out of your hand, and that's
Yeah.
the point.
Yeah.
You know, not relying on it being on your physical body. All right. So, ready, darling? Can you unmute yourself? Maria?
I'm on my tablet today, so it's not working very well. Should have got my computer out.
Into rewards and going in the same direction each time, that pattern can become part of the picture. So I don't want you always going towards the treats. When you say yes, sometimes you're walking away from them and then you travel back to the shop. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I thought I was saying yes over there. Treats over here.
Sometimes change the other way around so that the dog can't predict when the yes is going to happen, and when you say more,
I keep losing you, Julie. Come on, sit down. Drop it. Drop it. Yes. Good girl. Come on, let's go. Good girl. Move it. Come on, let's go, Bobby. Come on. Come on, Bobby. Yes. Good girl. Come on, let's go see. Oh, good girl. Oh, good girl. Good girl. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Yes. Come on. You don't need that. You don't need that. Hurry. 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 No, it's not a bit spin. Come on, you do it.
Don't worry, Maria. If your dog starts to get overly excited and bouncy, it's because we've changed the picture, haven't we? We've trained them when there's food obviously available. You know that it's definitely coming. It's going to be on my person, and there's going to be a really short gap between me marking and giving you that reward. That's their expectations. We're changing those. We're changing that picture. So there will be a degree of frustration. There just has to be. You know, that's normal. The way that you can reduce the frustration is not getting overly excited when you're going shopping, but to make it obvious that your body has changed. So not to be sort of getting frantic with your body, but just instead of, okay, carry on. Unmute yourself for me. I muted you just so that the...
It's because we're doing it constantly just in this one space. She does usually do, we do this anyway. If we're in the workroom and she comes in with us, if she, say she picks something up off the floor, we dropped a bone and she picks it up, we'll get her to drop it, and then whoever's doing it will then bring her through here and get a treat out of a treat box. So she does do it. I think it's because we're doing it constantly just in this small space that she's thinking, oh, this is a good game, and getting all excited about it. Yeah, yes.
It's blooming awkward having to train, and this is why I've opened my door today. I'm sick of being trapped in one little tiny floor space. But yeah, it's good. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. And when I was watching, before we put you on the spot, she was doing really, really well. When I was watching everybody all at the same time, she was doing really, really well. So I think it's, to a degree, it's also because you know that you're being watched and you feel like you ought to, you know, produce something. So
Yeah.
no, doing well. I like it. All right, let's do it. Let's do it to Leanne. Let's look at her little face. I love that face that she makes when you put her on the spot. Go on then, unmute yourself.
All right. Okay. Right. Run. Come through. Come through. Good girl. Some stand back. Yes. Good girl. Let's go. Let's get there. Good girl. Come on. Come on. Come through. Good girl. And stand back. Stand back. Don't want to do it now. Stand back. Right then. Come on. Come through. Good girl. Can you stand back? Yes. Good girl. Good girl. There we go. You're going to come back. Do it again. Good girl. Stand back. Stand back. Good girl. Come on. Come through. Good girl. Stand back. Yes. Good girl. There we go. Good girl. There we go.
So cute. So cute. I love it. Yeah. So what would you use that behaviour for if you were going to put it into real life? Where might that be useful? Because I can think of one situation where that might come in.
I'm trying to get her to walk, so I'm not too sure. I don't know. What would that be useful for? I really don't know.
All right, so how about if the vet says, I want to look at your spay wound, and we're going to check it while you're out in the car park, so we don't have to steal your puppy away from you. Yeah, and she can stand and she can show her belly to the vet out in the car, or the veterinary nurse out in the car park, and save herself the stress of being stolen away and held by strangers and all of that. Yeah, so that's one useful thing I can see that coming in for. All right, who are we going to put on the spot? How's about our Sammy? Ha ha ha. Oh, she says, oh. If you unmute yourself for me, darling.
Okay, right. Sit, Otty, peep, Otty, peep. Good boy. This way, this way. Oh, he went down. Right, Otty, no. Peep. Good boy. Good boy, wait. Come on, this way, this way. That's it. He's not going to do it. Go to the trot. There. Right. Otty, back in. He's too bouncy. Otty, peep. He's peep. That's it. Good boy. This way. That's it. And we go to here. There we go. Good boy. Good boy. Let's go to the shop. Oh. Good boy. What else can you do? Can you do my back? Yeah. Ready? It gets far too bouncy. Sit. Good boy. Wait. Wait, wait. Oh, yay, good boy. Let's go to the shop. There we go. Good boy. Ready, round? Find me. That's it. And sit. Let's go to the shop. That's it. Good boy. Off. Good boy. There we go. We'll go round by me again. That's it. Round by me. Let's go to the shop. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Woody, peep, 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 no, peep, yes. Down. Good boy. Let's go to the shop. Good boy. That's it. By me. That's it. Peep. Down. Good boy. Let's go to the shop. You coming to the shop? Good. Good boy. There we go. How's that?
Oh, I'm a little bit jealous.
Why?
Your dog's getting to be brilliant.
Oh.
Your dog's getting to be. All right, let's pick on someone else. I think it might be Jill's turn. She's the next on my list. So if you unmute yourself.
Right. Right, well, you're just going to go for a walk because I want Poppy to get used to walking next to me. Right. Come on, Poppy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Next to me. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Right, let's go to the shop, get you treats. There's a good girl. Right, ready? That's a big treat. Come on, Poppy. Poppy, come on. Come on. Come on, Poppy. Come, Poppy. Come, Poppy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, then, Poppy. Come on, Poppy. Come on, Poppy. Come on. Oh, good girl. We got the shop. Get your treat now. Come on. Good girl. Whoops. Dropped it. Right? Come on now. Poppy. Oh, we dropped a treat. Right, come on, Poppy. Come on, come on. Good girl, Poppy. Good girl. Good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl. Come on, and good girl. Go to the shop, get Poppy a treat. Come on. There we go. Right. There we go. So Poppy, that's quite good because she was walking right down the hall towards the kitchen with me, right at my side. So for her, that's pretty good, and all the way back like that. So I think she did quite well.
And it's useful for our lead training as well, which is something is still in the process of being worked upon.
So what I would say about when you're trying to get this behaviour, walking on the lead, out into the environment, obviously you don't have, you're not inside the house, so you can't leave shops around, although you could, if you're a bit canny, you could go out before and you could set up secret stashes that only you know where they are. So you could go to the shop and find that thing that you've hidden, that toy that your dog doesn't know is there. Yeah. But the other thing you can do though, is you can use the environment as your shop. So if you've got a dog who's really into chasing and hunting, or a dog who's really into sniffing, then that go to the shop can be go sniff, you know, go do dog stuff. Have access to that thing that you would rather be doing. Does that make sense? So again, we've got to try and get ourselves off this idea of having to have the reinforcer on our person. The reinforcer, now we're going to separate it from ourselves, but also think about the fact that life is reinforcing. There are things out there that we don't have hold of and we can't control anyway, that we can actually use as the reward. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah? All right, Judith, are you able to do anything, do you feel? Yes, go on then. Go on, have a go.
Right. Yes. Yes. Good girl. Come on. Yeah. Oops, Daisy. Good girl. Yes. Well done. Good girl. Very good. And sit. Good girl. There we go. All done.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah. Again, I'm wondering, I'm just thinking about my slippery floor and maybe some bit of physical issues with walking and moving. I'm wondering for her recovery whether it might be worth getting yourself some cheap scatter mats so that she's got places that she can walk without the risk of slipping.
Yeah.
I saw one little slip just then while she was just walking with you. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, behaviour wise, training wise, spot on. Yeah. Don't want to get too distracted by her medical issues, but at the same time I do feel a little bit responsible for her because she's one of my babies, so you know. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's just one little thing we can do, is getting the rewards physically away from us. Now we'll go back to that position training that we were talking about last week, where we're going to try and really get them to understand that being next to us is the right thing to do. And what I want you to have, if you've got something, and I guess I should have thought about it before, something for them to place their feet on that's ever so slightly raised. So like a book, or I should have thought about it because I haven't even thought about it either. It doesn't have to be massive. It just has to give them a slightly different sensation for their feet, so they can feel that their feet, their front feet, are in the right position. Okay, and I'll just get rid of Maybe because she's going to want to get involved. May, come out. Can you go that way? Yeah, you stay there. And the aim is, there's your, leave it for me, good girl. Yeah, don't play with it. She thinks it's a play toy. Thank you very much. Get off. Leave it. Go. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Thank you. All right. So we are food in hand for this one. What I want you to do is stand next to your object. This one's slippery and she's decided that it's a poor game. Come back here. Go. Stand next to your object and lure them into your side position. But I want you to lure them so that their feet are, yeah, this one's no good because it's slippery. So their feet are on the object, preferably a non-slippery object, which I haven't got anything. Everything I own in life is a slippery object on this slippery floor. So the aim is, once you've got them into your side position that you already know, with your hand in the right height for your dog, then they keep their feet on there to get that reward. So the aim is that they target their feet to whatever that object is. And you know, at the unit, I've got those smiley faces, those round plastic, I'm sure you will have seen them. That's the target that I tend to use for this, because on the rubber floor, it doesn't slip. But they're at the unit, so they're no good to me just now. And the reason I want for you to be doing this, so the other thing is, you know, those cushions, balance cushions that I've got at the unit, the ones with the bubbly bits, they're really, really good for it. What I want is for your dog to find out that being in that position next to you, which way do I need to move for you to see me? That way. Being in that position right next to your side is good, but being in that position right next to your side with your feet on the pad is better. And once they've figured out that that target is important, then you can start practicing moving your body with them keeping their front feet on that target. They can then start to learn that they have to move their back end. So can you see her back end is stuck? And I need for her to move that back end around. But if I go too far, she's going to travel forwards around me, and I don't want her to do that. So I want her feet to be stuck, front feet to be stuck. Come on. And I want her to learn to pivot that back end. So I'm stretching her. And if her feet were stuck on the target, which they're not yet, because I can't figure out one that I can use. But if you've got some kind of a target, it can be a non-slip mat or something. I think I know where I might have something that I can use. But have a go, first of all, still, but with you in the right position, right next to that front foot target. And just keep moving them onto it and getting them into the right position. Front feet are on the target and the dog's head, neck and body are straight with their front feet on that target. Don't sit, I want you to stand. Yes. Good girl. All right, so have a go at that. Well, I just go and see if I can find a target so I can show you the pivot. Cookie. 1 minute. So the target needs to be small enough, if possible, if you can find something good, so that only the front feet fit on it. So biscuit tins, round biscuit tins are really good, or really low buckets. Yeah, biscuit tin like that. Maria's got one. She's good. So I found something. I don't know if it'll be any good. So I'll give you a go on this. So we'll see whether or not she tries to pick this one up. Leave that. Good girl. Good girl. What did I do with the treats? Put them over there. So move that way because they can't see you. Good girl. Yes. That's good target your feet. Come here. Yes. Good girl. 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 So what we're looking to do is we're looking to mark when the back feet move while the front feet are still on the target. So you move your body slightly and mark every time those back legs start to reposition so that their body comes straight in comparison to yours. So this really helps if you use a video or a Twiggy, leave it. Use a video or a mirror so you can see. So the aim is to keep the neck and head up and straight and get that back end movement. So let me just see, if you watch for a second, I'll see if I can show you what I mean. Right, come here, look. Out the way. Leave it. Go that way. So her feet are on the target and her head and neck straight. So I'm going to mark and reward there. Yes, good girl. Now I'm going to change my position slightly. See her? Yes. Did you see the back end movement? And it's that back end movement. So I'm just rocking ever so slightly. I'm not rewarding her yet. Going to keep those feet on the target. Yes. And if I rotate, I'm keeping that head in the same position. I'm rotating my body with that head. Yes, little slight movement. Yes, back end movement. Oh, okay. It's a tiny, tiny adjustment. The aim is the feet stay on the target, yes, and the back end moves. And it's going to be a tiny movement that you're trying to catch to begin with. Got it, Maria. Well done. Nice, Judith. Yes, oh, she's got it. She's cracked it. So do lots of reinforcing for them, just standing with you in the right position to begin with before you start adding those movements. We want the dog to know that the right position is straight with your body, straight with their head and neck next to your leg. Make sure that they're really comfortable, that they understand that that's what you want before you start adding those little position changes. So they keep trying to get themselves back to where they know it pays. Nice, Leanne. That was a beautiful one. I saw a little shiffle. Nice, Judith. Well done. Very nice. I need another shopping trip to the cheap shops to find things to use for targets. The trouble is, I'm like a split personality at the minute. Half my stuff is all at the unit, and some bits are here, and some went back because we opened again, didn't we, for a couple of weeks, and then they didn't come back here again, and I haven't got what I need quite a lot of the time. Okay, so now we're going to talk about our own feet. So we're going to give the dogs a rest. Okay, because I need for you to learn a little dance move. So if you have a rest. Okay, so you're going to use the idea of a target. I don't want you standing on your boxes and stuff, but I do want you to have a way of reminding yourself that when you turn, you're not actually moving anywhere. Okay, so here's my target. You go lay down on there. Yeah, I know it's weird. Lay down there. Okay, here's my target to remind me what my feet are doing. So I'm standing with my dog straight. My plan, do that. My plan is to turn left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn one foot, and it's not going to go off my target. Okay, then I'm going to turn the other foot in to join. So here I've done 1/4 turn left. All right, likewise, if I'm on this target and I want to turn right, I'm going to turn my right foot out, and I'm going to bring my other foot in to join it. I've not gone anywhere. All right, and we need to do that because quite often if we've taught our dog beautifully to stay right next to us, and then we start messing about taking steps into them and pushing them out of the way or moving away from them, and they're trying to adjust their body, we're making it that much harder for them. So we need to take our part in it. So we're going to move, so we stay on the target, or we're going to move and stay on the target. So that's what I want to see you do. Bit of paper or something, or if you feel like you can be honest with yourself, do it without any kind of a target. I just want to see you do that. So we swing one foot out, and then the other foot comes round to join it. And I want you to do a full 1/4 turn. So if you look up in the room, you've got 4 walls. You need to be pointing towards the left wall or the right wall from wherever you started. So your whole body is turning in 1, 2 movements. Judith's got it. until he says, why aren't I playing? Nice, Leanne's got it. Jill's got it. Yay, let's have a look at your feet, Andrea. And Andrea's that clever, she's added a dog. Because that's the next stage. Once you think you've got it into your own head, then you add a dog. Now remember, we're not going to put the target for the dog in place at the minute because we're going to be thinking so hard about our own feet that adding too many things is going to be too hard for us. So what I want you to do is think about your own feet and just reward the dog for general position. Don't ask for perfect position. So we're reducing the criteria on the dog because we're focusing on our own feet. Okay? So while you're doing that, be remembering to be rewarding them. Don't be too pushy about their position. Just practice getting your feet round into the right position. All right, Dodo, do you want to play? You come in. Ready, ready? Ready? Good girl. Ready? Ready? Yes. Okay, is that okay with everybody that's tried it? And I know your dogs are all mixed up now. All right, now you can see there is an issue here. When we put the dog's target down, you're in the way, go that way. When we put, stay there. When we put the dog's target down and we start to try and practice our own feet, we can't actually do it because the target gets in the way. Yeah, because the target isn't moving around at the same time. So what you have to do is you have to practice the two separately. You have to practice turning your own feet, reducing the criteria on the dog. And you have to practice with the dog with the target separately. And then eventually you bring the two together. When the dog's really sure that they know what position in relation to your body they need to be, then you can start adding your footwork to that. Does that make sense? But practice both as separate issues. And eventually you'll have a fancy posh dog what can turn with you when you turn without you having to trip over them. So one more quick, because we did start late. So this is quite a fun game, which also helps them with position. Let me just put you on big view. Twiggy here, all right? What I want you to do, get your dog into that side position and I want you to step into them. One step and reward. So we're going sideways, all right? So we get them into position, right position. Stand up for me, because otherwise I'll stand on you. Step into them. So only a tiny step, be careful not to stand on them. And then the opposite of that is, I can't show you because I'm going to go off camera. Step, I'll just move it this way a bit. Right, okay. Step away from them and reward them. Remember, your hand is not going to move. The dog needs to figure out that they need to move themselves back into that space right next to you. So, stepping in, being careful not to catch feet, and stepping out, keeping that reward where it is. You're not going to use it to lure them back in. They need to move their body position into the right position to get that treat. So make your steps really small for them to begin with. We're not going to try and ask them to move very far. And the reward is always coming back into that position that we found out is the correct height for them. Try not to bring your hand away from your body. And I know if we've been law trainers, that again, that's a habit we've got into. And it's something I have to constantly say to myself, don't move your hand, don't move your hand. That's where the reward is going to be. It's the dog's job to find it. It's the dog's job to figure out where to go to get that treat. Nice, Maria. And to begin with, we're not worrying about the fact that they're going into the wrong position, that they're swinging their back end around or whatever. We're just, if you want the treat, move yourself back towards my leg. So we're not worrying about how they look in relation to our body to begin with. We can get picky about that later. To begin with, we just want the dog going, oh, she's moved. I need to move myself. So it's that movement that we're rewarding. Tilly says, stop kicking me. It's awkward when you're doing the going towards them. You do have to be careful not to stand on them, but you are putting a little bit of pressure on them. So don't worry about whether or not they're moving perfectly in line with you to begin with. We don't care. We just want the nose to come back into the right position. Now you can help that nose to come back into a straight position by how you deliver your treat. Okay, so, yeah, there you go, good girl. If my treat hand, get on camera, Julie Brewer, if my treat hand is next to me but open facing that way, can you see how that's where a nose is going to be? But if I bring it back round here and tip it into my body slightly, she's got to push her nose into that cup. So if it's just an open treat, generally hand position there, she can put her nose anywhere she likes. But if it's cupped in towards me slightly, she's got to push her nose in to, and I can adjust her head position. Can you see? I can turn her head position, and if I turn her head position to the right place, then what I can get is a straight body in relation to mine. So I want you to just play with that a little bit. It's awkward, but once they've got it, they'll have it. And once you've figured out, you've already really good at figuring out what height to put your hand and exactly which part of you you're marking on. Now, all you're doing is adding what hand shape you need to use to give that information to your dog. Beautiful. All right, so I think we'll leave classes there and we'll just go and have a bit of Ralphie time because there's a baby in the house. So here you go. Oh.
There he is. Little shitbag. Shitbag number 2.
Sorry, Leon.
Little sweetie.
Oh,
Oh, what did I do?
What's that? Hello.
Really lovely.
It's pissed. Oh, Sid's gone off.
Look, Jim, come and have a look. Jim, come and have a look. Come and have a look. Look. Isn't he gorgeous?
Very still.
He is, yeah. He's just had his dinner because he was up at 6, so we had an early breakfast. Oh, come on then, lady. Yeah. Yeah. He's a big lad.
He's lovely.
3.
He's
Yeah. And he's had a bath this morning, so he's a bit fresher smelling.
see.
But the early mornings are going to be a killer. And next week he's going out of the room whilst we train Sid if she's in the right mind for it. She's not in the right frame of mind today. She's just not interested. See, lady.
No, come and say.
Is that a being in season thing, Julie?
No, not coming. Not
Oh,
coming.
she's not listening.
Because I was trying to show him to Twiggy. But is it a season thing? Yeah, absolutely. We know, don't we?
Yeah.
Go twaddle.
You just can't be asked with anything.
Plus, you know, she's got a bit going on, hasn't she?
But
You know, there's a new boy in the house.
yeah,
New
she's-
boy.
it's settling down the interest at the minute, but he definitely needs to be out of the room whilst we're training. But she's not asked about anything other than food at the minute. Be like a mother.
Oh, he's beautiful.
I didn't want to sort your early mornings out, Andrea. You got a few more animals.
I don't.
You've got
Do
to
not.
get up and see to them then.
I really don't. Honestly, this morning he got up once in the night, which was fine because we've got paper down in the bedroom. So we had a little wee, went straight back to bed, straight back to sleep. That was great. 6 o'clock, he wants to go out again. So I know we get him out, but he's up there and he's full of it. And Sid's like, what the hell's happening? So she's a really lazy person in the mornings. Not what we. And she went straight back upstairs to bed, thinking that's what usually happens. No, we were up. We were out the house walking her by 7. Well, I was. No, I've just got to get him crate trained in a week. I don't know how the hell I'm going to do that. But-
You'll manage.
Well, he's used to a crate because there was one at the breeders for the last 2 weeks, and he's in and out, and he sleeps in it. But it's getting him to crate trained to stay in the crate on his own when nobody's about and he's fastened in. What are you doing, lady? What are you doing? Yeah, lady.
Anyway, I've got to go.
Yeah, me too. I've got my parents.
Lovely to see everybody.
Good luck tomorrow, Judith.
Thanks. I'll let you know. Thank you.
Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Sam, are you coming back or are you disappearing?
I've got to go.
Wait.
Sammy's gone.
I'm here.
See you later.
Bye, Andrea.
Bye.
I'll just. Sammy wants. Are you all right to get yourselves out?
Of course. See you later. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Maybe. That'll be a no.